Yes, people, welcome back to Let's Talk Premier League. We are here for Let's Talk F1, and we're here for the Chequered Flag show. Ignore the F1 show. It's the Chequered Flag show. I just have had no time in my life to sort anything out over the last couple of days. It's been a bit of a whirlwind, really. Some comments from yesterday. Wolf is waving. The Chequered Flag show will be tomorrow. For those wondering, as Niall said, he needs sleep for work. Thank you, Chris, for putting that, because my communication yesterday was fucking woeful. Yes, Niall and Chris. But yeah, as I say, it's going to take me a bit of time to adjust and all of that. It's just fucking life. Life is life. But I'm going to earn a shit ton whilst doing it. So, I can't complain too much. But we are here to review, basically, everything that happened in yesterday's race from Istanbul, which included Valtteri Bottas getting his first race win of the season. In terms of Valtteri, he pretty much did exactly what Mercedes wanted him to do, didn't he?
Yeah, a solid drive from Bottas. No, it didn't throw it away like he usually does. That's probably because he's even and he's just like, yeah, I'll start winning now. Just when it doesn't matter.
Just he wants to stat pad a few wins before he walks out walks out of a chance to win for the last time.
But who knows? He might be obeying team orders by winning the race.
Yeah, I mean it's a strange one. Obviously, Max Verstappen coming in second. Let's talk a little bit more in depth about Valtteri, though. This track really did have a Mercedes stronghold, really. Yeah. It did last season. Max, again, couldn't quite get those tyres in the optimal sort of temperature and actually get them working. Ravi says, big up now, fair play to you on the grind. Absolutely. But as going to earn a good amount from it. But more about Valtteri, obviously, it has been a Mercedes stronghold. They've really, really done well at this circuit many a times. Are you somewhat surprised that Valtteri was able to, keep the composure, get the win? Or do you think he ultimately had this all along?
It's a yes or no with Bottas, where if it was Hamilton, then you won't be surprised, of course. But but with Bottas, I think he wants to end on high, doesn't he, at Mercedes, and he did what he needed to do in this Grand Prix, and so I'm not really shocked really by the race result that a Mercedes car won the race. Because it did suit them before the Grand Prix. It's always been a Mercedes engine track previously as well.
Yeah,
and
it is sort of one where if you've got a really good engine, you're probably going to do quite well.
Try to. Unless you're doing the madness of Mick Schumacher in qualifying.
Oh yeah, we'll get into a little bit more about Schumacher in a second. Liam says we've sold out Oxford so good. Yeah, that is not too shabby, at all. I want to talk about Red Bull. They I thought were really good. I thought they were brilliant. Let's talk a little bit about Red Bull, shall we? Second and third. Do you think that was the best that they could have hoped for in the race?
Yeah, I think so. Because of course a certain mass of stuff and would have looked to win the race, but I still think it's a solid result. I think it's a result they would have took at the start of the weekend. But, going to this Grand Prix. So So yeah, I was impressed by them. I was impressed by Red Bull. It's a solid result, especially with what happened in the with another certain driver that shall not be named. And so yeah, it was a solid result and a good result for Red Bull in the end, in my opinion.
Yeah. Sergio Perez. I don't want to say finally, but it pretty much is finally. Finally, sort of helping all of that. Well, finally helping Red Bull and Max Verstappen having a little bit of a tussle with Lewis Hamilton as well. How impressive was Sergio Perez? I thought he was absolutely exceptional, as he alluded to yesterday, having to try and fight off Lewis Hamilton when your tyres are nearly at the end of their life is a very difficult thing, and I thought he did very well.
Couldn't ask for better, could the Red Bull?
No.
Yeah, he couldn't ask for better. Max Verstappen couldn't ask for better of his teammate.
Yeah.
Maybe well, the only better thing would be punting Hamilton off the track, but apart from that, it's good for them, good for Red Bull, good for Max.
Yeah,
and
we could only hope that Max decided to punt off Lewis Hamilton. But leading into Lewis, we'll do it a little bit strange. We'll do Lewis first, next, and then and all of that. But I want to read out a message that Lewis Hamilton put. Obviously, we know that he was verbally abusive to his race engineer Bono for the 900th time yesterday. He's put quite a bit of a statement out, so let's read it out. Good morning, world. I've seen some of the press this morning, which has made a bit too much of the incident in yesterday's race of when to pit. It isn't true that I'm furious with my team. As a team, we work hard to build the best strategy possible. But as the race progresses, you have to make split decisions. There are so many factors constantly changing. Yesterday, we took the risk to stay out, hoping it would dry. It didn't. I wanted to risk it and try and go to the end, but it was my call to stay out, and it didn't work. In the end, we did pit, and it was the safest thing to do. We live and we learn. We win and we lose as a team. Don't ever expect me to be all polite and calm on the radio when I'm racing. We are all very passionate in the heat of the moment. That passion can come out as it does for all drivers. My heart and spirit are out there on the track. It's the fire in me that got me this far. But any angst is quickly forgotten, and we talked it through. Already looking ahead to the next race. Today's another day to rise as a team. We still rise. Interesting comments there from Lewis. Ultimately, they did take that risk to stay out. They did hope that Istanbul would dry out, and it didn't. Did they make a big error here? Because do you know, if they had pitted and covered Sergio Perez, maybe he'd have got his tyres. Because I think it was Horner said you needed to allow the tyre a little bit of time to get through that pretty shit stage of graining to get it to sort of like semi-intermediate, semi-slicks. Do you ultimately think that Lewis and Mercedes made a bit of a... Well, Mercedes wanted to bring him in. They wanted him in. We must make this clear. Lewis has fucked up here, hasn't he?
Yeah, there's only one person to blame for me, and that's Lewis himself. Yeah. We've heard the team radio. Mercedes countless times told him to come in, and he's been team orders. With this, and he decides they're all aggressive about it. Well, sorry, it's your own fault, and it's your own mistake. And I said it to you and the what's it on yesterday. No, neither of these drivers can make a mistake in, especially this time in the season. If you transfer the title, and for me, Lewis Hamilton has made a mistake, and that has, and he hasn't even. He's not even took the full engine penalty either. So
Yeah.
This is another thing.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's an interesting one because as you alluded to, he hasn't taken that full penalty. He's only taken the MGE, the ICE, the internal
ICE.
combustion engine. He's only took that. Do you think there's any risks of reliability problems coming into the circuit of Americas? You've got Mexico, very demanding on the cars. Then we've got Brazil, followed by Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and followed up by Abu Dhabi. Do you think 6 races, and a few of those, Mexico especially, of how above sea level it is? Do you think there could be a potential reliability problem for Mercedes? And was this just a risk for a bit too much that they should have taken? Because now you risk having to change a new engine and retire from a race. So do you think it was a bit of a dodgy one to do?
I think it was. Even on the F1 show, we were talking about it. I said it was risky. I can't believe they didn't change the whole power unit, the same as Max Verstappen did. And I'm shocked, really. This is a 7-time world champion, and he's making mistakes. And of course, he's not to blame for the power unit, the new power unit. That's the team's decision. But during the race, a 7-time world champion, does he do that during the race? I don't think he does with that team radio and all that. So it's very big mistakes here from not just Hamilton, Mercedes as well. Because Red Bull being clever by the last race from Russia, just take it straight away, cut the offsides and see what happens in the race.
I was about to say, you say cut losses. I mean, I say they got 18 points.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, which is a lot more than cutting losses.
Yeah, I was saying before, of course, before the Russian Form 3 we didn't know what was going to happen in the race, and it paid off for them. And it didn't pay off for Lewis Hamilton this race. And for me, Lewis Hamilton, he still needs to take a new power unit, because it's okay just changing the ICE, but he got the other parts of the power unit as well that do need changing. And it's very witty. It's very witty. I remember 2016 when he was in that title fight with Nico Rosberg. He had reliability problems, Lewis Hamilton, and in the end, it did cost him probably the title.
Yeah.
As Nico Rosberg went on to win the title.
100%. Big up to Wolf in the chat. Liam says, let me know about tomorrow, bro. That's if you wake up in time. Well, yeah, it depends on when I wake up, really. Time for me to pretend I have knowledge about racing. Please do. Lewis Hamilton ain't Alex Tellez. By quite a mile. But Lewis Hamilton. What's the chances of him winning the title now out of 10?
It's in Max's hands now for me. Only Max Verstappen can use it, in my opinion.
Because he's 6 points behind Max now.
And you got, like I was saying, with that power unit and reliability, it seems 5 out of 10.
Yeah.
For Hamilton.
I can't see Lewis winning this at all. I think they've made a really, really big error. It's a mad one. That pit stop, though, for Max Verstappen, boy, oh boy, what a pit stop that was. That was blisteringly quick.
Couldn't ask for better.
And don't forget, there's no pit stop aids anymore, is there?
No, there ain't. And Red Bull, Red Bull showing why they are usually one of the best at pit stops.
Yeah.
When they're on it.
100%. 100%. Wolf says I have to take another 5-day break from social media. Next time I'm here will be next week. Well, saying that, I'm not going to be active over the next few days because I am adjusting. There's no late show tomorrow because I'm working. I need to work out the hours and all of this. So yeah, I'm going to be slightly quiet as well. But I wanted to talk about the constructors. Let me just get the constructors table up in front of me. It is somewhere. Formula One like to be donuts, and they don't like giving you stuff instantly because they are tossers. Right, here we go. The constructors, 336 points separating Mercedes and Red Bull. That one looks to be an interesting fight. There's also an interesting fight between McLaren and Ferrari for third. McLaren sitting on 240 points and Ferrari sitting on 232.5. That could be an interesting one, couldn't it?
Yeah, I think Ferrari and McLaren kind of at the old days, but not obviously fighting at the top of the constructors. They have that rivalry continuing from the old 2007, 2008 days between them two.
Absolutely.
And it's an interesting one. Like it's a tough one to call, that one between Ferrari and McLaren in the battle for third, because with the tracks remaining to daughter, it's half and half really. Some would suit Ferrari, some would suit McLaren.
Yeah, 100%. Wolf says I want to see Rick Niall, Nalando. Interesting. Chose Lando, one of my favourite drivers. He is one of my favourites. But no, it's an interesting one. Do you think we could see this year the constructors go to Mercedes and the drivers go to Red Bull or Max Verstappen?
That's what I predicted after the summer break.
Yeah.
I thought Mercedes looked more. I think Bottas does more in the Mercedes than Perez has done in the Red Bull at the moment. At the moment this season. But that was after summer break when I was judging it. So I did predict Mercedes constructors, and I still predicted Max for the drivers. This one, the fact that Red Bull, the summer break came at the right time for Red Bull, and even Max Verstappen to refocus what happened before the summer break.
Yeah. Do you think the break was ideal though? Because obviously Max had, been dumped out of the league twice. Dumped out of races twice, wouldn't he? Do you ultimately think that he needed that break more than, let's say, Mercedes and Lewis?
I do want to say, because if no summer break, I thought if there wasn't summer break, I think all the momentum would be with Mercedes and Hamilton. But the summer break came just right at the right time for Red Bull and Max Verstappen. I mean, Red Bull is still got a chance to win constructors, because you just never know.
But you never know. Obviously, one retirement issue, and that lead is gone. Yeah. Let's talk about Charles Leclerc, who finished in fourth. A really good race from Charles. And advantage McLaren, Ferrari in this weekend obviously is going to ebb and flow throughout the season. But a really positive drive from Charles. Unlucky maybe not to try and win the race, but I don't think a race win was quite ever on the cards for Ferrari here.
Yeah, because he was like, he was even the pit stop as well, wasn't he? Charles Leclerc. But luckily he pitted more earlier than Lewis Hamilton. But yeah, solid drive. That's what I expect from Charles Leclerc, the talented driver that he is. Very solid. And I think you should be happy with that result.
Yeah,
it's a good result. But in fact, it was a good weekend overall for Ferrari, especially with Carlos Sainz getting himself in the points as well.
Yeah, 100%. Let's move to AlphaTauri, and Pierre Gasly got 6th. Now, I'm pretty sure I think Gasly or someone got a time penalty for essentially being squeezed on the track. But Pierre Gasly, he's really, really taken to AlphaTauri. Again, obviously used to drive there under Toro Rosso, moved to Red Bull, didn't really get the fit with the car, didn't really hit it off, did struggle with Max, fighting with Max, didn't struggle with Max. I think they're very close, but just struggled with the car. But he went back to AlphaTauri and has really, really, really springboarded that team onto incredible things. And look, AlphaTauri used to be that both drivers are Red Bull development drivers, and they're going to go back. They're going to go Red Bull at some point. I think maybe it's a bit different with Pierre Gasly. Do you think maybe they'll keep Pierre at AlphaTauri just because of how comfortable he is with the team, and ultimately he earns the team plenty of points, which ultimately means plenty more money.
Yeah, I've been impressed with Pierre Gasly since he left Red Bull. When he left Red Bull, I think he started even better and improved more as a driver. Because even before Red Bull, I didn't think he was that bad. When at AlphaTauri, Toro Rosso in his first spell. And but he's just getting better and better as a driver. And I think it's not surprising anymore that he's finishing top 10 mostly every race.
Yeah.
Even finishing top 5 at times as well, which is.
Yeah.
I mean, AlphaTauri start season. I'm glad I predicted AlphaTauri is my ones to watch.
Yeah.
Because I based on Pierre Gasly getting better and improving as a driver. And Yuki Tsunoda is obviously he's a 50-50 driver at times. Can be good, but can be bad at the same time. But it is his first season F1, so it is understandable.
Yeah.
But Pierre Gasly, fair play to him, honestly. And for me, I think he is one of the drivers of the season, in my opinion.
100%. Moving on to McLaren and Lando Norris, who finished 7th. Lando really, really had a heartbreaking time at Russia. Didn't really, he qualified all right in 7th. Didn't really have anything to do in the race. Just maintain that same lead. 7th for Lando. Do you think he'll get a race win before the end of the season?
I want to say yes, because he is one of my favourite drivers to watch, and he's talented. You just don't know. You just don't know, because we don't know what's going to happen between Mercedes and Red Bull in the remaining races. There's always that one race where there's an opportunity for someone else to win a race, not the same old usual Mercedes or Red Bull driver.
Yeah.
So we just don't know where. I would say it's a 50-50 one for a race win for Lando. But if you're saying that for Lando Norris, you have to say that for probably another driver as well. Other drivers to get a race win.
100%. Next up is Carlos Sainz, finished 8th. Really, really good performance from Carlos from the back of the grid. How impressive has he been? He settled in really well at Ferrari. I think he's really embraced the team, and the team have embraced him. This could be a really good partnership. Got a really good relationship with Charles Leclerc as well.
I think he's very underrated, Carlos Sainz, because he's not really talked about. He's not really talked about as much, and I think, I mean, it's ironic enough he left McLaren to join Ferrari, and look at where Ferrari are now in the Constructors. Like,
100%.
I'm not paying that on Daniel Ricciardo, though. I think Daniel Ricciardo is gonna be an absolute good driver for McLaren.
Of course.
But this is the way it is, isn't it? Where it is, Carlos Sainz settled in at Ferrari. Daniel Ricciardo is having a bit of a slow start, but he's also had good races from McLaren as well. Of course, that race win as well, which was a booster for him.
Yeah,
and
100%.
But yeah, Carlos Sainz, I think he's very. Most F1 fans don't really talk about him much. This is very, very strange in my opinion, because I've always rated him, even when he was at Toro Rosso. I wanted enough. I mean, he's at Toro Rosso. He's been at other teams. I mean, he is a very good driver in my opinion, and that is such a good partnership at Ferrari with Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. And I think, obviously not this year, with years to come, I think they'll be right back at the top with them too, if it all goes well.
100%. I think we're going to wrap it up there. We've sort of gone for the top 8 where they finished. Istanbul, one of the greatest race for overtaking. Lewis certainly found it fairly difficult. But we move on to the Circuit of the Americas next, which has been one of Lewis's favourites for quite some time. So we'll see how they do. We'll see if,
But we said that about Turkey and Monza. Yeah, it's just Mercedes.
But I'm pretty sure if Lewis had been pole, he probably wins that race, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I mean,
it's a tough one, isn't it? But look, ultimately, I do think he'll probably enjoy it. And they've got good front straight line speed, haven't they? But we are going to wrap it up there. We'll be back, I don't know when, probably tomorrow, something. Premier League predictions are at some point. And we will crack on with all of that. All the club shows are still on. The United show might actually get moved, but I don't really know. I don't know yet. I'm still working on it all. I'll get there. But yeah, we've got all of that to come as well. So, on that note, we are going to wrap it up there. Before you go, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as always. Follow our socials, Twitter, Let's All KPL, Instagram, Let's All KPL _, and on TikTok, Let's All Premier League. Chris, where can they find you, mate?
Find me on Twitter, Critwell CUFC on Twitter, and I'm obviously back on YouTube now, talk about a certain club sat in the mindset at the weekend, a certain club I support, and I'm just leave it at that. Find me at the channel called The Real Cumbrians. That's because that's what we are.
Perfect. As I said, we're back later, whenever. Just make sure you're notified and subscribed with notifications on so you know when we next go live. But until next time, thanks for watching, guys, and peace out.